So, for everyone who doesn't know, this is my brother Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Kyle is guest number 2 on Conversations with Cody, and I'm going to be completely upfront with everyone. We've actually already recorded one of these, but I'm computer illiterate, so I messed it up. So there's no problems that it won't. The first one, I'm just going to tell you, you're never going to see it, but it was the funniest thing that was ever made in the history of ever.
Probably literally ever.
And so I feel really sad that people are going to miss out on. I mean, it could have won like an Oscar, probably. That's how good the first one was. I want this just to be a conversation where we're just hanging out and talking, because I think that's what makes things. Yeah, there you go.
Case.
Kyle's a whiskey drinker. He doesn't do beer, so. But I want it to be something that's fun and different, and just gets us out of our monotonous daily lives and gives you a chance to listen to people talk and have a little bit of fun. And so that's what I want this to be, and that's why I picked you to be my second guest, because obviously I've known you for a long time, being my brother and all.
27 years?
27 years, yeah. And the crazy thing here is, like, if people ever saw us together, I mean, they might, like, think that we were brothers just in the way we interact, and we do have a few, like, similarities facially, but for the most part, like, you're what, like 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3".
6'3", and, you know, always has been taller and bigger than me. And not like fat, because I'm a chubby dude, but like you've always just been bigger, like even when we were kids. And so it was weird because in normal situations where like the older brother might hand clothes down to the younger brother, like instead you were handing clothes down to me.
Right, which was awesome because I literally always got like the newest stuff. Like I would go like school shopping, get new shoes, new shirt, just give you all my old stuff. It's awesome.
So the first part of how I do this is kind of just a conversation. It's broken down into 3 segments, and I think what's really fun and what's really cool is I've been fortunate enough to meet and know really cool people in my lifetime, and I want other people to know those same people. And so my brother is my guest, and I think it's first and foremost it's important for people to know that you and I, at least in my eyes, I could be way wrong here, and this could be really embarrassing, but I feel like we've always been best friends. Like even as little kids, like we were only a year and a half or so apart. Like mom and dad didn't waste any time after me. Like, you know, you came along.
Well, I don't think you felt that, like you didn't fill that void, that need they had for a child.
Yeah. So, and hear me out on this, you were an accident. It's always a possibility.
Go with the former of the two.
but we always played together, obviously. I mean, there was never a time where like, maybe the only time that might have been kind of weird was like when you were a 7th grader and I was a freshman, because like at that moment we were very different, I think, just in age and all of that. But every other time I think we've been very, very, very close. And even then I don't think we were like, oh, leave me alone. It just...
Yeah, it was fun because, like you said, you know, we were 22 months apart. And so we did grow up with always, you know, playing, having fun, playing sports in the backyard.
Yeah.
A lot of our friends lived close, so we always had a backyard football. I mean, we would get like 7-on-7 in the side yard and have full-on games and stuff. And yeah, we didn't really, you know, I think probably you said 7th and freshman, we kind of a little bit drifted because, you know, you were doing high school things and didn't want to be seen as your lame school brother. But
yeah.
For the most part, yeah, we grew up together, and it was nice to be able to live with your best friend, you know.
But of course, coming like along with that and playing together, I was still the older brother. So, and as I had already mentioned, you were bigger than me. So I was never going to beat you up. Like we would get into fist fights, and I was 100% going to lose every single time because you were just bigger and fatter. Like, what was I going to do? But I would like outsmart you a little bit, and maybe not outsmart you, just have like really good timing. So I would do things, and then you would manage to get blamed for them. And not like once or twice in our life. Like this was a constant theme of our relationship. And one of the things that I always think about, there's like a few that I think about. One of them being when I don't know how old we were, but Mom used to have these little like elephant figurines, and they would sit up on this shelf. Well, for some reason, I don't even remember like how it happened. A giant like one of those like bouncy aerobics balls like went up and shattered one of them. And I took off running to my room, as I knew like mom and dad were coming home, and
Right.
you were left standing in the living room with all this damage,
Yeah.
and like I just didn't come out. Like that was it, done.
No, yeah, I didn't see the rest of the night. No, I think the one that sticks out to me the most is I'd gotten this sweet Nerf bow and arrow for my birthday. It was like fresh, 2 days old. You know, I'm running around like Robin Hood, and let me see it. And I wouldn't give it to you because I knew what was going to happen. Right? Everyone thought that I wouldn't share toys with you. Like they thought I was just like this little jerk. Not the case. I wouldn't share it because you would break it, give it back to me, then blame me for it. But in this case, you stole my bow and arrow, ran 2 yards the opposite way to Bev Barker's yard, and climbed up their treehouse, shot our arrow over there. Now, mind you, we weren't allowed to leave the yard. Right? We had a pretty good sized backyard. Play in the backyard, go to your grandma's yard. That's it. You ran 3 yards over, shot the bow and arrow into the treehouse, ran back. I obviously chased you. As I'm climbing up, you ran back and went and got mom, and she comes out of the house screaming at me, yelling at me. I got my bow and arrow taken away. I got grounded. Wasn't allowed to play outside for the rest of the day. Like, all the time, this stuff happened. All the time.
I remember one time we were riding bikes with some friends, and there used to be a dairy bar. We grew up in a small town, for people who don't know, called Roachdale, Indiana. It was a town of like, I don't know, 800 or 900 people, like in the city limits. Maybe, yeah. I really don't know how many. I always like to think it was bigger than it was, maybe. But there was like one little dairy bar, and they had awesome milkshakes and fried food, and it was so cool. And when we got old enough, we were allowed to like ride our bikes behind our yard to hang out with some friends who lived back behind us. But that was it. Like we could never cross the main highway because we lived on a main highway. But one time, like I don't know if I really wanted a blackberry milkshake or what it was, but I ended up telling you that it was like okay. Like mom said it was okay.
Yeah.
And we go off and we get milkshakes and we come back and we drink them. And mom, I don't know how she found out, but somehow found out. And I was like, I told Kyle that we couldn't go, but Kyle just took off and I had to follow him because I wanted to make sure that he was safe. And like that was the end of it. And like even to like the day, I don't even know if mom knew like before she passed away, like if she ever found out that I was lying about that.
Yeah. Wait, mom passed away?
Yeah, dad did too, in case you weren't aware.
Thanks for the update.
Well, my mom and dad. Your adopted mom and dad.
Okay, right. No, she.
There's so many people who are like, "Oh my god, that is so bad."
Yeah,
that's fine.
Whether she did know. I mean, yeah. As we got older, mom and I grew much closer than we were when I was a kid because I was kind of a little jerk as a kid, I guess. Yeah, I was mouthy. And so we did grow closer, but I still don't think she ever believed me that you framed me for most of the stuff. Even as close as we were before she passed away, I don't think she believed me. Like she thought that I was just like everyone thought I was like this terrible kid, but really it was just me being framed by my older brother.
Well, I mean, in everyone's defense, you did have anger problems.
Yeah,
to the extent this is my favorite.
Mostly caused by you.
This is my favorite story in the world to tell. You might have been out of high school at this point, I think. Or still a senior, somewhere in that range. I'm not exactly sure, but we were at home, and you were arguing with mom about something, and like she followed you out. You got in your car. You were going to a friend's house, and mom said, "Kyle, you really need to get your anger problems in check." And simultaneously, you punched the roof of the car, said, "I don't have anger problems," and then you peeled out of the driveway.
In my defense, the peel out was an accident. I'm not a very good driver.
But like you believed at that moment that you didn't have anger problems.
Yeah. Well, again, most were caused by you.
Which is fair.
I thought that it would be fun to look up some words that I've been seeing, like hashtag Kiki challenge.
Yeah.
I see like TBTs and stuff like that. So I'm slowly learning what some of the stuff means. I thought I would see what the Twitter machine, if he knew what some of the stuff meant. So I've got a list. This is actually a full article titled "Decoding Teen Slang: Our Teen Slang Guide for 2018." So this is for adults to make sure that your kids,
which is good. You should know.
First word. Let's see if you know what this means. And I do have the definition.
Okay, good.
Bruh.
It's like brother, or like hey, what's up, brother, or like bro, or something like that.
It is. So it's short for bro. It's a casual nickname for bro. Not sure because it's actually BRUH.
Which is one letter more than BRO.
So we've complicated bro into bruh. So that's where society's headed.
Yeah.
Fam.
Fam. Like,
some of these are kind of easy, I guess.
it's like an abbreviation for like family. Like, hey, I'm hanging out with the family today.
Yeah, no, not like a fam reunion. It's apparently closest friends. There's no longer a BFF. It's a fam.
Because you can't just have one BFF now. You've got like a whole fam of them. So like, hey, I'm gonna go to the movies with my fam. I'll see you guys later, family. Like that?
Sure. What is a goat?
The greatest of all time. I know, and I only know that because it literally was last year when I found out what that was. I was really confused on why people were calling like Michael Jordan a goat. Like I physically thought that they were calling them like a goat, and I was like, why are goats so great? And then someone was like, no, it's like greatest of all time.
Yeah, it's an acronym. What about if something is lit?
Like really cool.
Yeah, short for it's cool or awesome. Man, you are lit.
I am super lit.
What about I'm weak? I'm weak.
Weak, like not strong?
No, funny. Something's really funny.
No.
Yeah, like, man, that's so funny. I'm weak. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a sentence.
Like in the knees?
I don't know the country of origin. I don't know the sentence.
That's where we're gonna be. Like the script spelling bee is gonna be like, please spell weak. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong definition.
What about Gucci?
Okay, so like Gucci.
This is PG. Okay.
Yeah, like Gucci Mane, or like Gucci. Are there Gucci bags?
What's Gucci Mane?
Like Gucci Mane, like the rapper. He was in Terre Haute for a while, at the federal prison. Yeah. Huh?
He's a Hoshin?
No. He was just in the federal penitentiary in Terre Haute.
For what?
I don't remember, like tax evasion or something like that, fraud. I don't know.
Hardened criminal, that rapper.
Yeah.
No, Gucci is something cool or good.
So is that like synonymous with lit? Like, are those interchangeable? Can I use them, or can I use them like together? Like that lit fire is Gucci. I don't know.
So like you're camping, that lit fire would be so Gucci. You know, the one I see a lot of that I just learned what it means now. FLEEK. Think of something as fleek.
Fleek, yeah.
Yeah, fleek. Like the one I see a lot is like my eyebrows be fleek, or stuff like that. So
these eyebrows are not fleek. These are like really bushy, like caterpillars.
Yeah, caterpillars. So I don't think that like fleek, Gucci, lit are all interchangeable. It would be synonymous.
Do you think people would like notice if you did use them interchangeably? Like, would people be like, "Oh, that's not how"?
I think that's too many sentence enhancers. Like, I don't think you can use that many sentence enhancers.
Okay. All right.
So the rest of these tend to get a little bit like less PG. So I think I'll like let you guys see what like thirsty down in the DM CU46. Just Google it yourself.
Netflix and chill, is that one on there?
Netflix and chill is on there. Niffolk, NIFOC.
Yeah, I don't.
9. If you just type the letter or the number rather, sorry, type the number 9. 9 is short for a parent who's watching. So if any of you guys out there have teens and see text 9,
they know you're watching.
Yeah, they know you're watching.
So I've asked people to submit questions, and some of them are older questions from the last time I asked for them that weren't used with Jonathan last week, and some of them are new. So basically I'm going to shoot off 5 questions, and you have to answer them rapid fire without thinking as much as possible so that this moves kind of quickly. So,
Sure.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First question. Would you rather breathe fire, or would you rather have the ability to turn your hands into water?
To be fair, I thought these would be the same questions from the first people.
I know.
So I was mentally prepared to answer, Repeat the breathe fire.
Yeah, would you rather breathe fire or be able to turn your hands into water? So you could like shoot water from your hands.
Oh man. Or I can just breathe fire like a dragon.
Yeah, but like it would happen unexpectedly probably. Because I mean like you're breathing. So like every time you breathe out of your mouth, fire is going to come out.
Oh, then give me the water hands. Like it sounds like I can control that.
What happens if you try to pick something up and your hands just turn into water?
But that's not what you asked. They can like you said I could just control it. Right?
All right, fine. Okay, I'm just telling. I'm just reading the questions as they come off.
I'm just answering them.
All right,
That's a cool sign back there. Is that new?
that is from my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, Greg and Tara.
Oh, okay.
They got me that for Christmas. They get really good gifts for Christmas. They always have, and not just like they buy like good gifts. Like they're very thoughtful in the way that they pick them out and kind of the meaning behind them, and it's really cool.
Greg never gets me gifts.
That's because you're not his son-in-law.
Oh yeah.
That would be weird.
That would be.
Anyway, next question: is the Earth flat?
Who asked this question?
Brock Jones, our good friend Brock Jones.
We're not even going to answer this, Brock.
But
the bad part is, Brock is asking because he like legitimately wants to know. He thinks like, oh, I'll just pose this as a joke and like it'll be funny. Like he's waiting patiently in Florida right now to see the answer.
like he genuinely wants to know if the Earth is flat.
Yeah, the Earth is not flat, Brock.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
It's a tough one. Can I just have like Superman powers? Like all
No, you get one superpower.
Can I like? I want the power, like the ability to heal. Like I want to be able to heal myself and heal others.
Okay. That's good. That's a good answer. This one comes from our high school English teacher, Mrs. Roach.
Oh, hey, Mr. Rush.
Yeah. She wants to know what's something
I think
that...
she hated me in class.
She didn't hate you.
I was really dumb. To be fair, Mrs. Roach, if you're watching this, I now know what the difference is between there, and also 2, 2, and 2, so...
Hey, and it only took like 10 years after you graduated high school.
Good.
Good job. But she wants to know what's something that you routinely do in your day that you couldn't do without.
Oh, shower. I have to shower. Every morning I start with the shower.
Do you have to start with it, or can you like shower at any point in your day?
No, it's my morning has to be showered before I go to work. Like anything. Like the only thing that will like be before the shower is if my child is crying and I have to take care of her.
Yeah.
Otherwise, shower first.
Because it very quickly goes, once you have children, it goes from like, hey, I want to do this to, hey, I'll see if I can do this if my children allow me to do this.
You froze, so I just had this really awkward picture of you for the entire question. So if you could repeat that question, or if this isn't live, we'll just edit it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just move on. The last question, and this is how we're ending all of our interviews for the first season of Conversations with Cody, and then at the end I'll do like a fun little poll and show you how people answered it. But the last question is, does pineapple belong on pizza?
I guess I have a question for your question. Like, can it go on pizza, or
No, like, is it a topping that people should be ordering to put on pizza? Like, should people be going, yeah, I would love to get pineapple on my pizza?
Well, I think it depends on what you want. Like, if you want sausage pepperoni pizza, just get a sausage pepperoni pizza.
Just answer the question. Like, it's not that deep. Like, I'm asking you. Like, do you view pineapple as something that should go on pizza? It's not like a matter of like this philosophical, like, well, if you like pineapple, eat pineapple. It's what do you think? I knew that you would make this question way too hard.
Well, I'm just kind of confused. If I'm ordering a pizza, I'm not ordering pineapple on it. But if I'm at your house and you order a pizza with pineapple on it, yeah, I'll eat it.
So it's a yes or no, because the poll doesn't allow for gray area. So it's yes, pineapple on pizza, no pineapple on pizza.
Yes, pineapple on pizza.
No! Jonathan said
no,
yes too.
Pineapple on pizza.
So is it yes? Okay.
Pineapple on pizza. I
Right.
think pineapple can be on pizza, no problem. That's someone's choice.
This is probably a conversation that we'll have many, many times beyond this.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
Yeah, okay. Hey, thank you for being my second guest. I appreciate it. And he'll be making a return later on. We have some cool stuff planned, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But
For all of you who watched and took part in the second episode of Conversation with Cody, thank you, and we'll see you next Friday. We have a really cool guest lined up for next Friday, so you'll definitely want to be sure to tune in for that one. See ya.